Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's a great day. I did just receive my G-Force axles I ordered them actually from Summit Racing, but here they are. They are extremely heavy and extremely beefy, and that's exactly what I'm going to be installing in today's video. So it might not be a step-by-step, but basically you're just going to see me pull it out, put it back in, and kind of get the gist of it. So let's get to it. All right, guys, we're going to start here. I'm going to take off the upper control arm and the upper and lower front trailing arms, I think what they call them, I forget. But basically, I just got to take off these three suspension pieces. Then I'm going to unbolt the sway bar, and that should give me enough room to pull it out of the way enough to be able to get this old axle out, because I already did that once, especially on this side. And then we'll hop over to the other side. But let's get rolling.
Alrighty, guys, just looking on BMR's website, it is the upper control arm that I am taking off right now, and then I'm going to be taking off the front upper and lower trailing arm, which is the other two suspension pieces I did say. And then from there, we are going to be taking off the sway bar and the tow bar.
These are all 18 millimeters, so it is very simple. This is not the first time, or probably going to be the last time, of taking off all the suspension pieces. This is probably somewhere about 10-ish. Alrighty, guys, so as I said in the other voiceover, right now I'm taking off the lower trailing arm, and from there, look at my bald spot, and from there I'm going to be also taking off the brake rotor, and being able to fold the spindle completely out of the way is going to be a big help in taking the axles off, considering G-Force highly recommended not bending the axles fully in one direction, as I did on this one I am taking out right now, putting it back in when I took out the broken one. So yes, it made it a little bit more work, but at the same time I am ensuring that I am not hurting anything by doing that. I don't care. I wasn't in a rush. Biggest thing when you guys are doing parts installs, don't rush, enjoy it, have fun. This is your project car after all, or race car, or whatever. Just take that extra second and really just embrace what you're doing and understand it, and just have some confidence in it.
So as you guys know, with Camaros and exhaust, there's those two 15 millimeter nuts on the back of the tub area that you have to take off to get the exhaust hangers out of the way. It's easier than trying to pull the exhaust out of the hangers, in my opinion. So as you see, I'm doing that there, and I'm just going to take the rest of the piping off all the way back by where the X pipe is. Just the easiest way to get the axle completely out of the way of the exhaust, or the exhaust completely out of the way of the axle. That was one of the things I fought with taking it out, and I said again, easiest way to do it is just get everything out of the way. That's simple, and I'd call this fairly simple. So yeah,
all I did that for was to make it really simple to get to the axle bolts now. So I guess that's the next thing to do, and I'm gonna wait for my dad to do that so he can help me hold the brake, because I don't have a parking brake on this car. So I'm just gonna get to turn apart the other side.
since you guys saw me do this just on the other side, I thought I'd put myself in 20 times speed, basically hyper speed, just so, you know, I can show you, but not really have to go through everything again. One thing I didn't mention on the other sides is I did take the two 10 millimeters off for the wheel speed sensor, or ABS sensor, and the brake cable, considering I did have a brake cable issue anyways. But from there, other than that, you can basically just pull the whole spindle off, which is what you guys are going to be seeing me do here once I put the axles back on. But if you want to get ahead of it now, it's what I did. So as you guys are seeing me do here, I am taking my 3/8 socket and taking out all of the stock axle bolts. I learned out it was a 3/8 after I used a 10 millimeter in a hurry on the other side at Norwalk when I did blow the axle, and I rounded off 4 of them, thinking that I just couldn't get a good bite on the actual axle itself. So again, I learned that the hard way. So use a 3/8, and if you can, try and pick the axle up and make it straight so you actually have the ability to get the socket completely on the head of the bolt.
Alright guys, if it was pretty hard to tell, this is the stock one that we just pulled off. This is the G-Force one that's going to go back in that same spot. It's incredible how much thicker it is right here, and especially weight difference. It's a pretty big difference in weight, which hopefully that means it'll stand up to what we need to get it to stand up to. So let's get it back in the car.
Oh wow, that's kind of crazy. They all have like a little lip that they all sit on. That's kind of cool.
I genuinely love having a nice reaction to all this stuff because this is the actual first race car slash muscle car slash car that has any power that I've worked on besides really nothing. So it's really cool to experience some high end parts for the first time every once in a while. So I've been shocked a lot with this car with how nice things are in the aftermarket world, especially when it comes to performance, because I feel like sometimes it's such hit or miss. But everybody told me how good G-force axles are, and I really hope they stand up to what I'm having, the power I'm making. So one of the biggest things too is people are like, "Oh, now that you're bulletproofing your axles and your drive shaft, what's next?" I'm like, "Well, I know that's the diff, but there's dudes with 1,000 horsepower ZL1s on stock diffs. Like, it can't be that bad on the differential. I change the fluid every year. I really hope that I don't need to replace a diff anytime soon, but I might be on the lookout to see if I could find one, maybe possibly on like eBay or something with low miles, slightly used, just to have in the back of the garage, just to maybe have before the price goes up or, they go extinct for whatever reason. But yeah, besides that, I really think I have a pretty nice drivetrain now, and here I am getting my Goliath torque wrench into a place where I really shouldn't have, and you guys will see I use a different torque wrench on the other side. But yeah, no, I really think that really the only thing left is the diff that could go bad, but let's just pray that that doesn't happen for a long time, considering my car probably only makes between 650, maybe 700. I wouldn't even say 700 wheel, but 139 trap speed at one point was pretty good, but I've never been able to reciprocate it for reasons like the last video I had with the intake. So, oh well, we'll get back to it. Hopefully this will help me launch harder. And as you guys see here too, I am taking a paint pen and torque marking all of the bolts, so it's an easy check to see if they move or not. To finish up last clip, you guys saw me use a screwdriver to hold the hub in place, which is nice that G-Force had that on the passenger side. You're able to do that. As you guys see here, I am buttoning up the passenger side, but at the same time, you're going to see me shortly take the spindle completely off, and this is where I started fighting with the spindle to get it back onto the lower control arm, because that isn't any fun. Hopefully eventually here I can go Keltrek, Viking, shocks, coilovers all the way around, but I'm going to try and make do with what I have for now, and then I can change it to a BMR unit underneath there as well. But for now, we're just going to use what we have, because I'm going to try and get a 1.4 something 60 foot here real soon. And I will say, on the first drive, I didn't mention it, but the axles, when I did my little burnout, it felt a lot more just smooth. It didn't fight me or argue with me or really anything like that. I felt like every time I tried to do something like that on dry pavement, for sure, kind of hopped a little bit. And G-Force did say that they do have a anti-wheel hop technology, and I'm like, does that even work? How do I even know that that's even going to do anything? And probably with the different way they have the universal joints, especially to be more beefy, especially with how particular they are, they say don't hang it or don't drive it on jack stands with full droop, because it's just going to mess with the balls inside the socket of the joint, which is kind of crazy to see and hear, because there's that many different styles for an axle, especially because of what they are and how they're built. You can't believe there's that many different ways that they're made. Alrighty guys, we're going hyperspeed here. This is on the driver's side. We're not pulling off the other bolts that I already had out at one point, actually just a week and a half ago. But yeah, same thing basically as the other side, so we're going to go hyperspeed here. This is 25 times speed, so hopefully you guys can keep up. It doesn't actually look like it's that bad watching it here as I'm speaking, but yeah, we're going to get this done, get the suspension all back in place, and then we're going to go for a quick little drive. This has actually been over a 3-day span with Memorial Day weekend and everything like that, and my baseball season starting back up, so we'll see how much I can keep this uploading record going, but I don't think it'll be that difficult, especially only trying to upload 2 times a week. I can definitely have content, because last year I juggled baseball and racing and everything just fine. So basically already doing what I'm doing. So nothing too bad. Definitely a busy guy. If you guys want to know, it's just an adult league. I'm not like a college athlete or anything like that. I just love the game and never wanted to leave it. So a couple coworkers is like, hey dude, you should go play baseball. It is overhand baseball, so we're not playing softball. It's been actually really fun and competitive, so it keeps me going. Anyways, adding to that, after this we're going to go for our first little drive here, and I'll see you guys then. Time to cue some wonderful non-copyright YouTube music.
All right, guys, well, that's going to be the install for the axles. All I have to do is put the wheels on and put the car back on the ground, which you guys have seen me do that plenty of times already, so I'm not going to bore you guys out with that. Sometimes forget how loud this car is. Holy crap. Axles were good.
Yeah, I think so.
That was spinning that whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Alright, well I did add a drive into it, so hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.